From secret messages to would-be leakers to prophecies of the end of Fortnite, the devs are no strangers to hiding secret messages in the game. I mean, come on. If you worked on a game, wouldn't you be tempted to do it too? We all know Fortnite is an interdimensional story where anything and anyone could suddenly appear. However, did you know that at one point, part of the island made its way towards our reality? In the California deserts, Epic dropped a real-life Durr Burger, and anyone that went to go see it when it first appeared was given a secret gift. Upon arrival, there was a Fortnite cop car, as well as scientists studying the anomaly. They would give a select few people a card with a phone number on the back. If you called this number, you would be greeted by the ominous sound of a rift on the other end. Spooky, right? Well, it got even spookier. If you went on Google Maps during this time and looked at the Durr Burger, you would find a faint outline in the area that looked exactly like the vault. The craziest thing about this was that this was an entire year before the vault officially appeared in the game. Teasers much? That spot was even called Punto Cero, which is Spanish for 0 point. Well, if you thought that was great foreshadowing, then you should see what they brought back this chapter. Do you want to start your Fortnite career? Then click on the link below and visit ProGuides.com. For $7.99 a month, you can gain access to our entire catalog of lessons in Fortnite and beyond. Go from noob to pro faster than Epic nerfs all the fun items in the game. Come find out how you can take an extra 10% off our pro coaching opportunities. Now, everyone knows Kevin the Cube. He corrupted Loot Lake back in Chapter 1. Then he escaped during the finale of Chapter 2 to rejoin with the Cube Queen. However, did you know that during his escape, he left behind a small message to the player? If you looked on the ground, you would find the words, "Kev out." However, this was but a small taste of the mysteries surrounding the cubes, and this next secret might actually show us what will happen in the future of Chapter 4. The devs hid a series of 3 dice around the map. 1 yellow and 1 purple. These dice represented the different types of cubes we've encountered, but the third in particular remains a complete mystery. There is a red dice on the table, but we have yet to see a red cube. In Chapter 4, these cubes made a comeback at Slappy Shores. Seems like someone doesn't want us to forget Kevin the Cube. This wouldn't be the first time. Epic added some tiny details that later became huge in the storyline. In a blink and you'll miss it moment during the collision event, 2 characters could be seen falling into 0 point. Now, while this might have seemed like a throwaway moment, it was actually super important. Later on, it was revealed in the comics that these 2 characters were in fact the Imagined and Gino. However, during the initial event, if you looked at them closely, you'll find that Epic used Gunner as a placeholder. So during the next live event, make sure to keep an eye out for anything out of place. It might be nothing, or it might be absolutely everything. One of the biggest scandals in Fortnite was the Epic versus Apple case. This lawsuit resulted in the death of mobile Fortnite. However, that didn't stop Epic from throwing shade at Apple. Not only did they create a new skin called Tart Tycoon, which was the last ever skin released on iOS, but they also created an entire ad to show their distaste of the company. The ad was an homage to the famous 1984 Apple ad. However, the shade didn't end there, and this next secret might have gone completely over your head. Soon after the lawsuit, there was some pretty questionable items that made a comeback into the shop. Items such as Oppressor and Payback. Are you trying to tell us something, Epic? Considering how much beef went down during the time, it was probably another jab at Apple. However, not all messages are inflammatory. Some are actually downright wholesome. If you used Indiana Jones right when it first came out, you might have noticed a secret message under the archaeologist's hat. This message read, "Liam and Finn, heart dad." It was a nice and wholesome message left behind by a father, but unfortunately it was removed soon after its discovery. This wasn't the first time a wholesome message has been left in Fortnite. During Chapter 1, someone actually got help from Epic getting a prom date. The note near Greasy Grove read, "Andrea, will you go to prom with me?" And this story had a happy ending with Andrea saying yes, which is a much better ending than what happened with a certain Spider-Man game a few years years back. So if you want good things to happen, hide your message in Fortnite. Now, for the question of the day. You ready for this? If you could hide a secret message or Easter egg, what would it look like? And what would it say? Leave your replies in the comment section below. So how many of you have heard about the Family Guy crossover? Well, we bet you didn't know exactly how deep the rabbit hole goes. That's right. Originally, the Family Guy crossover was one of Fortnite's best kept secrets and was only discovered when hackers were able to look at the files during Chapter 2, Season 5. These files revealed snippets of the Peter versus Giant chicken fight, but strangely, blood was removed from the scenes. This wasn't the only time the devs at Epic hinted at this crossover. They even had files on their computers titled Family Guy, so will this crossover ever finally happen? Well, maybe you should ask Epic themselves. Fun fact, remember how chaotic the Chapter 2 Season 6 intro was? We had Xenomorphs, Predator, the Terminator, and more all duking it out, but there was one detail you might have missed. If you look closely on the numbers on the truck driven by Ripley, you'll see this, NC27518. Now, while these numbers might sound meaningless, they're actually the location of the Epic headquarters in North Carolina. The digits are the postal codes. So if you want to send some letters about the Family Guy crossover, there you have it. The Black Hole event is one of the most historical moments in Fortnite. Everyone thought the game was being shut down for good, and some kids even broke their setups in frustration. However, unless you were there when it happened, you might have missed a secret game mode and an even more cryptic message. Soon after we faded to black, faint numbers began popping up on the screen. Luckily, some players managed to spot them in time. They soon connected the seemingly random string of numbers to old audio files, which allowed them to play a message.
What the 7 of us are attempting is very risky. I suspect they are not the only ones watching, but it must be done or we lose the bridge forever.
You heard that right. This audio teased the nothing years before it became relevant. Meanwhile, players who were impatient for the next number on the string to appear started messing around with the screen and unlocked a secret mode. By inputting a few button sequences known as the Konami code, players unlocked a Space Invader clone that could be played on the black hole screen. This minigame featured an army of beef boss as players tried to blast them all for a high score. It was a pretty neat reward for figuring out the method. Of course, some of the best secret messages and Easter eggs take a bit of digging, and you won't believe what lengths Epic will go to hide stuff from the community. If you want to go pro and impress your friends, don't forget to click on the link below and visit ProGuides.com. Epic has a history of adding cryptic messages into Fortnite. However, some of these go deeper once you look a little closer. Back in the original Season 3, Epic decided to play a prank on the community by hiding images within an audio file. Everyone was going crazy over the meteor that suddenly popped up in the sky, but it had an even funnier secret hiding within. When the sound the meteor made was put through a spectrograph, it showed none other than the L dance. This would not be the last time Epic hid secrets in audio. Early 2020, an audio was leaked simply named Agent Meowscles. At the time, people were still trying to figure out what it meant, which led to the discovery that the audio had a secret image as well. When shown using a spectrograph, we got to see an image of Meowscles as well as a bony fish. It was a cute little teaser for things to come, but the biggest teaser yet was right around the corner. In fact, during Chapter 2, Season 3, a rift appeared in the sky. Once again, the sound of the rift revealed major secrets for a future event. Can you guess who this silhouette is? That's right, it's Galactus, and he was secretly being teased months before he finally appeared. And yet the list goes on, because Galactus was not the only villain in the spectrographs. We also had secret images for the Ice King as well as the Shadow Cubes. However, one of these messages in particular showed us the end of Fortnite. I'm talking about the Cube Queen, who also had a secret audio you could only hear by aiming your weapon at her. This audio revealed the final moments of the Queen's plan as lightning shot out of her cube pyramid. This exact scene came to pass during the live event as she ripped a hole through the sky to let in the last reality. Good thing we flipped that island and prevented her complete takeover. right? This is why you'll always need to keep an eye out for anything out of place. The search for secrets never ends, and Chapter 4 will definitely have even more secret messages to discover. Well, that wraps things up for today. Did you enjoy today's video? Leave a like and ring that bell to stay up to date with all the latest tips, tricks, and more. Once again, this is Zephyr, and we'll see you next time.